Hi, my name is Alison Bellwood and I am the founder of The World's Largest Lesson. Thanks for inviting me to speak to you today. I'm going to talk you through the project itself and our plans for 2021. We were founded in 2015 to build awareness, support and action for the SDGs amongst the world's education community, all teachers and students everywhere. We aim to inspire educators to weave the goals through their teaching so they become part of the language of young people and schools and act as a framework for social action. What we do is create free resources in multiple languages for students and educators, from lesson plans to projects, films, comics and challenges. We aim to provide something for every setting. It's impossible to create truly universal resources, so we make them open source. Sometimes all a teacher needs is an idea to get them started. Other times they want a full and detailed plan or a project, and so we make that possible. We try to make the goals feel relevant, to use the local community and the environment as the setting for learning. We encourage students to get outside and look for evidence of the goals where they live. This helps them feel more connected to the issues and also stimulates them to think of solutions rather than just problems. This experiential learning develops skills like critical thinking and problem solving and builds agency so that all students feel that they can play a part in achieving the goals, even with the most tiny of actions. In one sense, creating learning resources is the easy part of what we do. What isn't so easy is making sure they're used and that they're effective. And that's never truer than with a programme that aims to reach right across the world. As any educator will know, you can't create a universal lesson and expect that it will resonate everywhere. The setting and the student experience to date really dictates what the learning should be, so we encourage all those that access our resources to shape and develop them as they see fit. As I said, they're open source. You can strip them apart. You can use one nugget or you can use all of it, however it suits you. We think of the resources that we create as just the start of our work, and it's only through some incredible partnerships that we've been able to make sure that they are used and that they've been effective. A good example of that is a project that we began in Nigeria in 2019, where we wanted to reach children in schools that don't support global learning or education for sustainability in any meaningful way. And we wanted to encourage students to raise their voices, perhaps for the first time, and become agents of change where they live. The idea was really simple. We wanted to reach as many children as possible in 1 week and make a moment of it, bringing together a network of youth volunteers to do it and to train them to deliver an introductory lesson to students, to engage them in the idea of the SDGs and the idea that they could play a role locally in achieving them. Then we wanted to leave behind a legacy of after-school clubs for the SDGs, where learning would take students deeper into the issues and help them begin to develop solutions. The partnerships that we created to make this project work were fabulous. 2 local NGOs supported by my team brought networks of young people together. UNICEF and UNESCO added weight to the project on the ground. We worked with government encouragement across 2 departments, and we added awareness raising via Facebook and Instagram campaigns. We reached 800,000 children in a week and left behind nearly 300 after-school clubs that are still running. While this is a good example of what is possible, it also highlights the problem. We can't reach everybody, and we can't provide exactly the right learning experience for everyone. The expertise lies on the ground with educators, and what they need is the permission, the training, and the encouragement to do more. The world and the issues that we face right now are so interdependent. COVID-19 has proved that. And there's really an urgent need now for education to change in response to this. Right now, in 2021, what we're doing is focusing with many others on the critical need to make climate and environmental education a formal part of all children's schooling. It should form the bedrock of understanding that everybody needs to be able to respond to climate change locally, to protect our natural world, to build resilience, and to help shape productive and green economies. As I'm sure you'll be hearing right throughout this festival, now is the time to really work together across the whole sector to call on governments to step up their commitments to environmental and climate education. From my point of view, it's a right. It's a right as defined in the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and it's a commitment written into the Paris Treaty, yet so few governments have made formal commitments, and even fewer are actually delivering the learning. So, as far as the world's largest lesson is concerned in 2021, what we want to do is to bring together all of the different work and different networks that we engage with into one project. And that is to invite children themselves to campaign for climate education, to give them the experience of turning their own learning into action. We're in the process of making a learning experience, creating it for children that involves exploring why climate and environmental education matters, why they, more than any other group, have the right to ask for it, and why now is the time to do it. We want them to collect up all that learning and turn it into a call to action to decision makers. It could be their head teacher, it could be their school district leader, it could be their state or even their national decision maker, the one who actually decides what they learn where they live. We're producing this for the kinds of children who are younger than those already campaigning, those who may not have done anything like this before. It's the kind of activity that anyone who's teaching global issues, civics, environmental or climate change can fit right into their planning as the culmination of that learning, actually trying to change something. We would love to see as many teachers and children as possible getting involved in this. We'd love to prove to children that they can be agents of change if they act with one voice. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could see multiple countries standing up one after the other at COP26 in November and making their commitments to climate and environmental education becoming formally part of everyone's learning? And then to act upon that commitment with urgency and deliver it. So my question to you is, can the education community come together with this? Can we form some new partnerships to make it happen? How can you be involved? Let's get a conversation going here today and get started. Thanks so much for listening.